Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to a brand new Farming Simulator 19 video with me, where I'm going to be starting a new Let's Play series on the brand new Washoe Nevada Map by ALiEN JiM. That's right, I've been playing on Mercury Farms by ALiEN JiM, but the man's gone and brought out a new map, so I'm going to be starting a series on this. I'll be wrapping up the Mercury Farm series fairly soon anyway. So it makes sense that we're going to have a bit of a transition. What are we going to call our farm out here in Nevada? Names, American-y type of farm names. Nevada-y names, desert-y names. Let's call him... I'm going to call him Arthur Sandcastle. Let's be a slightly darkened gentleman. Are we going to bother? I don't need to worry too much about hats because I'm going to be using the cowboy hat mod. Let's give him some stylish hair. Does he want a jacket? We might give him a jacket. Probably give him a nice blue shirt. Right, Arthur Sandcastle. Right, mods. Very light mod list this time round. There's not really a lot at all. There's a few bits and pieces off the mod hub, but that's about it. Growth control is going to be there because I am going to be using the real life numbers mod. If I've remembered to include it. I have real life numbers. Perfect. No courseplay or anything on this series. So it's going to be all me, no contractor mod. So again, not going to have the extra workers and workforces like I had in the Mercury Farm series towards the end. Or that I've got currently going on in that series. But we are going to change a few things up when we spawn in game. So we've got the cowboy hat. All controls and options. Right. Got the animal pen extension. Right, I'm going to decrease the time quickly while I just sort out some of this stuff. Put it so I can see it. So... helpers do get hats, right. Let's have page down. There we go. Right. So if I do home, I'm going to have that cowboy hat style. I'm going to give him a nice white hat. And I want a nice... I wanted that blue band. Not that one. Not that one. I want that one. Right. So here we are on the map. We seem to just be spawned in the middle of nowhere. There is a little cave over here with some of the old fool's gold in it. Not real gold nuggets, sadly. Right. Changes quickly to a lot of things. Right, we're going to put it into dollars, miles. I'm going to leave it on acres because I think the Americans use acres. Economic difficulty is going to be hard. Dirt is going to be normal. Enzymatic is off. Fuel usage is going to be normal. I'm going to turn off all the buying options. Plant growth is going to be controlled by growth control eventually, so that's not going to be a problem. I will leave weeds on, just for the sake of leaving weeds on. There are a couple of other things I will need to do. Right, so let's have a look at the old map. So here's the map. We're right the way down the bottom here. We've got free lime and quarry diesel. animal pens are along the top here. Chickens, pigs, cows, sheep, horses. Transport company is there. Shop is there. Spinnery, fuel. There's a biogas plant, dairy factory, old shanty grains, root crops, Area 51B diesel. Area 51, eh? Ooh. So our house is mainly over here, so we probably should be heading over there. Buy slurry and manure from the animal dealer. Livestock market farm. Livestock market. Right. Well, let's head over to the main farm then, firstly. And have a look around. So this is our house. It's the standard sort of Ravenport looking house, I think. This isn't one of ALiEN JiM's usual affairs. So it's the standard Ravenport building, looking a bit more run down and battered. We've got a pickup truck that looks like it's seen slightly better days. We've got a building over here. Is this the silo? There's a pipe sticking out the side of it. Can't open it. Grass, hay, straw, chaff, silage, forage, pig food, sugarcane, wood chips, manure, storage. So we can put all that stuff into the building. But unfortunately, we can't go in the building. Looks like we've got a water tower here for being able to get our water, or storing water, should I say. So we've probably got to fill that up ourselves. General maintenance. I wonder, is that like got like Hyde Farm rocks? So a bit like on the Mercury Farms map with the hedges and fences. There's a bit of a script on this map to remove a lot of the rocks and boulders that clutter up the map, no doubt. Seeds go there for storing seeds. So what makes this map a little bit more unique than some of ALiEN JiM's standard affairs, rather than giving you refill points where you just drive up and refill stuff, you actually have to come and fill up. You have to fill these places up with the materials. You got your lime storage, so again you can store lime here at the farm. This is something I've been experimenting on a couple of maps now, having like the refillable placeables rather than just being able to just buy stuff out of thin air. You actually have to come and fill these things up. That makes it a little bit more realistic, I think, in game. Fertilizer, liquid fertilizer storage. So again, we can put fertilizer in here and liquid fertilizer, and we'll be able to get it out of here again and fill up. Quite a big trigger box here, isn't it? JiM. Diesel storage. So again, you've got to bring your own diesel down to the farm to keep all your vehicles refueled. It's like a root crop storage here. Sugar beet storage. Potato storage, so you can store your root crops. But yeah, for the people who have been waiting for an American map to come to the mod hub, I hope you're happy. ALiEN JiM's taken care of you and provided you with a good map. So field 9 is a cornfield that is ready to harvest, and it's got it's going to need to be ploughed and limed after that. Some nice rocks. Main silo, I'm guessing, or a silo. Why is that silo there when we've got a building over there? Right, can we go in these buildings? No. These are probably just decorative then. I'm going to put the help screen on, just in case I am missing a trigger. But I don't think I am. I think this is purely decorative barn. Doesn't look like it does anything. Or at least doesn't appear to be any way to open it. So we've got a truck, we've got some tractors and stuff. Yeah, so I thought this was the silo. Or is this just like your hay barn and stuff? And that's your grains, that must be for your grains and stuff, that other one. Right then, what we got? That's a new vehicle. I've not seen that. I've not used one of them before. And a little Case Pro, a little plough. Harvesters over here. Little New Holland jobby. TX32. So let's have a look at our starting fleet. We've got the Case 7230 Pro, the Stair Profit CVT, pickup, Corn Champion. Start with all the animal pens, and that's just a standard in-game silo. That's not one of ALiEN JiM's usual affairs. I don't think he's actually got any modded things on this map then, really. Apart from the floodlight. Got all my usual grass drying, silage fermenting and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, strange. Not a typical ALiEN JiM map with all the extra bells and whistles then. Okay then. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to cook, Jesse. We're going to cook. Sorry, Breaking Bad reference. And I know why I did that, because that was Albuquerque, New Mexico, wasn't it? Okay, nowhere so near blooming Nevada. The New Holland. Right, we're going to harvest. There's old Arthur Sandcastle with his little cowboy hat on. Yeehaw! Don't even have GPS on the old harvester, so I'm going to have to do the first harvest without the aid of guidance steering. Oh boy. Wow, JiM's given us possibly the smallest harvester that's ever existed. Or the smallest header that's ever existed. Not using full stop mod because that seems to be broken with quite a few with conflicting with something that I generally always use in my play sessions in my farming sim mod folder. That's something that I have obviously enabled on every game, so that tells me that the full stop mod conflicts with something that I find way more important than it. So I just need to remember to keep my eye on the fill level and make sure I don't go running over all the crop. So it's going to be interesting to see how we progress in this series. As I say, it's not a start from scratch, but it is still hard, economic, difficult. I have started in New Farmer with obviously JiM's starting fleet on this particular save, with JiM's original farm, as he's intended. But as I say, I'm using the real life numbers mod, which drastically changes the costs and stuff of things in game, and causes the cost of things to fluctuate in game. So like when you go into the store to buy like seeds, fertilizer, things like that, that will actually change price on any given day. Some days you could pay more for pallets of seed, other days you'll pay less. Same with your fertilizers, herbicides, lime, your bags of seed, like wheat and oats and pig food and stuff like that. We're going to see how I get on. I don't know how many episodes this series is like to run for. It all really depends on how well it's received and what the viewership looks like. If a lot of people are watching it, then obviously it'll run for a while. If it doesn't seem to take off in terms of views, I will probably move on from it quite quickly onto something else. As I say, I'm still waiting for Welkers to appear. The Welker Farms map, that was the one I was kind of hoping would be out by now. Just so I've got something on another. I want to ideally have two maps going up at the same time, two different Let's Plays on the go. I can alternate each day on the channel. I don't know how many. The multiplayer server sessions, they're just going to be supplemental videos. I'm just going to upload those as and when we have a particularly interesting multiplayer session on the Don Diego map on the server. So we're at 18% full. I'm keeping my eye on the fill level. So while doing the corn, then this field needs to be ploughed and lime spread after this. So I'm going to have to go and get some of lime. I don't think we've got a spreader though, have we? I didn't see a fertilizer spreader in my This harvester's got one heck of a turning circle on it. Now, Phineas Fogg travelled around the world in a balloon in 80 days. This thing takes about that long just to turn round. So yeah, we could probably do with selling off, maybe replacing the equipment fairly early on. Fortunately, Arthur Sandcastle's not exactly the most well-off farmer. He's one of the rare non-rich farmers out there. I don't know what he does to squander his money, but he does something. So unfortunately, he hasn't got a lot of kit and equipment here on the farm, and he's going to need to replace it at some point. with something that's a little bit more up to snuff. Something a bit more modern, I think, is what we're looking for. Employ my patented spiral technique now for harvesting the fields. Yippee-ki-yay! We'll bring the stayer over in a bit and look at getting a few of the getting this unloaded. We'll also check out the silo, see what we've got in stock. In terms of starting supplies. Because we may have to sell off a little bit right at all the starting stuff right away before we can go and have a look around the map at the other things, see what money we've got, basically what we can expand this farm with. It's an interesting, unique map as well, in the fact that unlike ALiEN JiM's usual affairs, there's not a lot of fields on the map. Also, I think you can only harvest actual grass. I don't think you can harvest the wild stuff. Or the wild stuff doesn't grow as well as the normal stuff. I know it's got different textures for like the normal grass that everyone's familiar with, and so let's have a look at some of the prices. 183 grand, 267 grand, 89 grand, 25 grand for a grass field. And then there's some like just big areas of nothing. Look, you don't get the field with that. 254 grand and you don't even get a field. So it's a little bit surprising, some of it. Looks like we've got somebody's messing around on this map. Doing crop circles, look. The aliens are real. Don't tell Eddie Bravo. Or do tell Eddie Bravo. He's the guy that thinks the world is flat and space is made up. Space doesn't really exist, it's just made up. Space is photoshopped. I was listening to him the other night and it was just, honestly, it was insane the stuff he was coming out with. I was like, how does anyone actually believe that nonsense and take it seriously? And more to the point, the two people sat listening to him coming out of all that rubbish, how on earth did they not, you know, how does Joe Rogan and Brendan Sharp not just turn around and flipping wheel kick him? Especially Rogan. Rogan's got a pretty mean sidekick. You know, he could have dropped Bravo, and then whilst he's crawling around on the floor trying to regain his senses and his teeth, Joe can explain to him how the world is as round as that kick. We're at 50, so I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough. This could be a very tough series to make a living on. I know we can sell things around the map and stuff. I know we have the option. But contracts, as you saw, on that contract screen were very very cheap. They weren't offering a lot of money for any of those contracts. I also have to be a bit careful about using workers, because obviously with the way, because the real life numbers mod nerfs pretty much everything in the game to make, you know, crop prices as close to real life, if you know, from the region you've selected and stuff. Obviously the game doesn't really do realistic in terms of its numbers, so you know, like you hire an AI worker to harvest a field, he charges you £1,000 for an hour in wages. If you do that with real life numbers, you're going to end up bankrupt incredibly quickly. The mod author does state in the PDF that comes with the real life numbers mod, which is definitely worth a read at 67 pages of instructions and information. What you have to remember, he says, if you're going to play the game with workers, he says you need to download and install the helper admin mod, so you can configure the wages the wages per hour to something obviously more realistic for what an hourly wage is in your part of the world. So like me, when I'm playing with helper admin on like a UK type map or something, I usually have it set to be the wages to be between sort of £10 and £15 an hour, because that's typically what, you know, a good or high hourly wage would be here in the UK. I don't know what the minimum wage or living wage is in the US, what the average you know, what the average wage is per hour. At 72%, I think one more strip down the field, and then we're gonna need to empty our lovely New Holland harvester. So I will probably undertake some contract work. I probably, because I haven't installed the helper admin mod, I may decide to do this completely helper free, in the fact that every single task that gets done has to be done by me manually. I can't hire workers. That might be one of the other rules I make on this little series, and see how long I can go with that before I lose my sanity at trying to do everything myself. The good thing is the growth control mod is designed to try and simulate seasons a little bit, and it really does extend the length of time it takes for crops to grow. So I'm not going to have a mad panic on my hands when I do have more than one field to worry about. Because everything's going to grow, all the crops are going to grow at different rates of time as well. The growth controllers set that out. One of the things I do have to look at though, and I am going to have to look up on in the Realistic Numbers mod, is to do with the fertilizing, the spray rates and stuff. You have to, depending on what you're actually putting on the field, whether it be normal fertilizer or liquid fertilizer or slurry or manure. Again, Realistic Numbers really stretches things out a little bit. So, like cow manure has a different effect on the crops to pig manure. Same with cow slurry, has a different effect on the crops to pig slurry. And there's a whole different thing of like when you're planting which crops require what type of fertilizers, and how much you should apply on a crop by crop basis. So that's where the variable spray mod comes in. And he wants you to be using that to control how much fertilizer you're giving to your crops. You can ignore it and just obviously go and spray the default, whatever the Giant's default is, on everything, but obviously he wants to make it a little bit more realistic. So when you're spraying certain types of product, or putting certain types of product on certain crops, you will either use more or less. So you'll have to dial your fertilizer consumption rate back using the variable spray mod. It's all it all sounds very complicated, and I've yet to really have a serious look at it and study of it, which is why doing it on this map is ideal. As a bit of a tester to see how it all works. I was going to do it on the Welker Farms map, but the last thing I want to do is start Welker Farms with Realistic Numbers installed, realise after a couple of episodes I don't like it, and then I can't remove it without completely breaking the save game and having to start again. I would much rather install and test the mod on a map like this, which, like I say, is more of a chance for me to have a look at things, look at the new map from ALiEN JiM and see what some of these mods are. Like I say, I've been collecting up some different mods and stuff, which, as I say, I was going to be using on the Welker series. So a lot of the mods that I've got installed on this save at this present moment in this mod folder were actually mods I was going to be using on Welkers. I've got a couple of extra trucks. I've got, you know, like Kenworths, Peterbilts and stuff like that, you know, proper American looking and American branded trucks that, you know, people are familiar with, and what, you know, the Welkers use on their actual real life farm. And then I've got a few other bits and pieces. Obviously I'm running the custom modding John Deere 8R, and I'm just destroying all the crop. Disaster. That's even more expensive to destroy all the crop on this map. Then doing it on another map, because obviously Realistic Numbers, you don't get the hundreds of thousands of pounds for I'm going to use the stair. Is that like a... that must be like a planter over there then. It looks like we've got a subsoiler rather than a plough. I don't think Arthur's got a lot of equipment. Yeah, we've got a subsoiler. And then we've got a cedar planter. Not entirely sure how he managed to put corn on the field with that. Because that only does crops. Only does crops. Hey, steady on. I must have accidentally ticked the lift heavy things mod. I will remove that for future videos. This is kind of the thing I normally use when I'm setting up a farm, setting up a map, just so I can manoeuvre equipment and park equipment, you know, when I'm beginning a series. And I've got my fleet and I'm trying to get it parked and arranged around the farm, ready to start recording the first episode of the series, so everything's in its place and in its position. But because I'm using, obviously, ALiEN JiM's default starting equipment on this video, I didn't really need to do that, because JiM's already placed all the equipment where he wants it. I wonder what little hidden surprises JiM's put on this map. What are some of the unique things that we can do? You know, the little secrets that he doesn't really advertise and he hopes people are going to go out and find. Usually ways to make money normally is a good way. You know, like on Mercury Farms, being able to sell diesel, being able to sell water to like the greenhouses and the animal dealer. And obviously manure to the greenhouses, stuff like that, which wasn't advertised anywhere in the mod. Being able to sell seed and fertilizer and stuff at the garden centre on Mercury Farms, which again is not in the menu screen. It doesn't say on the menu you can do that. But if you was to play around and be experimenting, you would find it out. So I wonder what he's baked into this map, in that sense, to give people chances to come up with creative ways of doing things. Like I say, we'll get the corn harvested. Have I really been recording for 39 minutes? Have I? That can't be right. Surely this episode isn't 39 minutes long already. No way. Oh, I mean, it could well be though, with this harvester, because we have been working at this field for quite a while now. I'll put the old GPS on while I quickly look in the corn prices. So we've got a couple of little places. We've got a restaurant that will buy stuff. Holy cow! places will buy diesel fuel. Doesn't look like anywhere's buying fertilizer or liquid fertilizer. The biogas plant will buy diesel and manure and stuff. Livestock market will buy pig food. That's always nice to know. And I bet livestock market buys cow food as TMR as well. A few places buy water. But wow, eggs are looks to me. Why are eggs so expensive? Why am I driving halfway up a mountain? Why are the So looking at this screen, the best, apart from diesel, which is obviously a good thing, the best things for us to actually sell are eggs. We need to get our chickens laying as quick as possible. We need to get as many chicken pens on this map as we can. As many large chicken coops as possible. Because eggs look like they're going to be the money maker. There's a few stalks I've got to go back for after I've picked up the bulk of it. At least we'll have pulled in our first harvest, and it'll be a long time before we're in a position to do corn again, because we don't actually even start with a planter that can do corn. We need the subsoil, like I say, next episode probably. Get this field redone. Look at what we can sell off as well. Next episode. Get our finances and see what we're going to need to buy. Like I say, it's going to take off a while in game before the for the crops to grow, so I'm not going to be harvesting very rapidly on this map. You know, I'm not going to be able to doing a ton of harvests because growth control is seriously going to slow me down on that sort of stuff. We'll be able to have a look at that in a minute when I take this harvester back. Just get these last few stalks. Lots of corn. Hold the harvester up. that's done. So quick hop into the cab. And my lovely little stayer tractor. Let's go and have a look, see if we've got any more corn in storage. 51 litres. It's not a lot. Everything's in 51. Is that for area 51? Is that ALiEN JiM's like little joke? Right, best price for corn is going to be at the livestock market. So, where is that? Over there. So let's have a drive. This is our first chance to drive around a bit of the map. So, I'll zoom out quite a long way. So people can see what the map's about, get a bit of a look at it and a bit of a feel for it. Building up on that hill. Things to go and explore. There's some wide open-y type of areas. And other not so wide open-y areas. Some big, there are a couple of big fields on the map, however. And there's a couple of little ones, but like I say, it's not your usual map that you see from JiM, because like I say, it hasn't got tons and tons of fields, like say Mercury Farms, which had like 50 odd fields on it. This is literally, how many fields? 12, or 15, sorry, 17 fields. And we got $1,000 for that corn harvest. This is where you can buy manure and slurry. This is where you can buy your animals. Horse dealer. Come and get your horses. Windmills on the old map. Oh, what's going on? Here be monsters. I've hit the edge of the map. Oh dear, I may have broken it. Maybe off the map. There we go. Don't do that. Don't drive off the edge of the map. The cars are going a little bit quicker than me. So it looks like we can back up by field 6. There's a little bit of a road, and then you can have a bit of a drive round. You can walk there and have a bit of look of things. See the old let's have a bit of a drive up here, up this hill. see what's occurring. Bridge across. The windmills. A little bloke walking on it. There was. More people wandering about. I'm curious now to see what's up here. Is this the... Oh, this must be the restaurant. Yeah, JiM's put a restaurant on the map where you can take and sell stuff. You've obviously got a bit of an area out here. Got a food stand. Farm chips. Farm snack. Barbie. Someone's got a barbecue. Ain't got no shrimp on the barbie though. And then some deck chairs. Why have people got chairs set up? What happened? Oh, did they sit? Oh, because of the Area 51 thing, they probably sit there. This is probably where all the flipping UFO nuts come and sit, hoping to see little green men and stuff flying around in their spaceships. Or the US military flying experimental aircraft using alien technology, you know, and all that stuff. So this must be the old, like I say, the restaurant. So you can, there'll be a sell point up here somewhere. And the back, possibly. Oh. Yeah, come and bring them all the food. So all your stuff that you make, all your profits. Come and bring them stuff. I think we can deliver water to them. This is another place that will take water deliveries. So you can bring a tanker up here with water in it. And they'll take all the other stuff, all your other crops, your potatoes, sugar beets, sugar cane, all that stuff. But it's going to be a long time before I'm in a position to produce anything like that on this map, because of the difficulty I've selected and the fact that I'm using this Realisitic Numbers mod, which apparently really does make it tough. I mean, the Realisitic Numbers mod actually wants you, the model actually wants you to start the game in hard, start from scratch and on hard economic difficulty. So yeah, watch out for that one, kids. I've kind of gone against the author's instructions because I've started in New Farmer, but then I have set it to hard economy. So I don't know whether that's going to have some weird effects, or a bit of water down there. That's where we started. Like I say, our farm's going to be up here somewhere. There's a place over there. Tractor doesn't, that's the sawmill. In there, sell your logs. There's a bit of forestry on this map, a few trees to get rid of. We'll explore the map a bit further, I'm sure, in time. But I'm conscious of the fact that this episode might be a bit long. So, thank you to everybody for watching this first video on the Washoe Nevada Map by ALiEN JiM. If you've got any questions, comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you aren't already doing so, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get to stay notified and updated whenever I post new videos. Also, feel free to share this video wherever you see fit and with whomever you see fit. And most of all, remember, I've been CWATTYESO, and I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye for now.